Good day, here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. We begin with some other gains touted by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. in his State of the Nation address in terms of improving the lives of Filipinos. He assures the government is keen on meeting its medium-term targets to provide more opportunities and a quality life for the people. Benj Bondok has our top story.
2 years into the Marcos administration, the government is making progress toward achieving its medium-term targets. In his third State of the Nation address delivered at the Batasang Pambansa Complex on Monday, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said the government vows to give Filipinos a comfortable life. This as the country's poverty rate declined to 15.5% in 2023, down from 18% recorded in 2021. He noted the economy's post-pandemic resilience built through the steady growth of investments. Marcos assured that Filipinos would feel this as he promised to find ways to generate more jobs. Marcos said the government would continue the implementation of the Walang Gutom 2027 program, the first 1,000 Days initiative, and the expanded school-based feeding program. He particularly said the Walang Gutom program will be fully rolled out to 300,000 food-poor households across the country by the end of the year. President Marcos also emphasized the importance of infrastructure development, noting that he has prioritized the establishment of specialty hospitals, health centers, and mobile clinics to bring quality services to the poor. Among the government's projects are the UPPGH Cancer Center and the DOH Philippine Cancer Center, which will help address the plight of more than 400,000 Filipino cancer patients. Other healthcare projects the government is focusing on are the establishment of bagong urgent care and ambulatory service centers, super health centers, and mobile clinics. Marcos also highlighted the progress in major road projects such as the Central Luzon Link Expressway, NLEX-SLEX Connector, and the Plaridel Bypass, which are set to be completed this year. He says as of May this year, 12,000 kilometers worth of roads and more than 1,200 bridges have been built and upgraded across the country. He also announced that the Philippines is in the midst of a railway renaissance with several big-ticket rail projects such as Metro Manila Subway Project, MRT-7, and the North-South Commuter Railway are already progressing. At the same time, Marcos assured the rise of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport into a world-class gateway through its public-private partnership with the San Miguel-led New NAIA Infra Corporation. Meanwhile, Marcos hailed the improved peace and order situation in the country, which was done through the continuous capacity building of the police, military, and Coast Guard. In line with this, he pledged to continue the Bloodless campaign against illegal drugs, which has so far netted more than 97,000 suspects and seized about 44 billion pesos worth of contraband. He stressed that peace and order is essential in genuine prosperity and social development. For the Pna Headlines, I'm Benj Bondok.
Staying with the SONA, the President also pushed for the timely passage of the proposed spending bill for 2025. The Chief Executive says the proposed 6.5 trillion pesos national budget for 2025 was crafted with utmost care, diligence, and meticulous attention. He is also optimistic that the proposed budget would fund impactful government programs. He urged all agencies to judiciously spend their allocated funds on urgent priorities and socially impactful programs. The President approved the 2025 National Expenditure Program during the 17th Cabinet meeting at Malacanang Palace in Manila earlier this month. The national budget will serve as the basis for the General Appropriations Bill that reflects the administration's priorities, including food security, social protection, healthcare, housing, disaster resilience, infrastructure, digital connectivity, and energization. A notable inclusion in the 2025 budget is a new grant under the existing 4Ps or the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program that will ensure the health and nutrition of children aged 0 to 2 years from the poorest families. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman announced that the 2025 NEP will be submitted to Congress on July 29, a week after Marcos's SONA. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s State of the Nation address drew praises from lawmakers, especially for his declaration to ban Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. Senate President Francis Chis Escudero lauded the SONA as honest, truthful, and comprehensive, highlighting the focus on rice, agriculture, and food security, the West Philippine Sea, and POGO ban. Senate Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada hailed the POGO ban as a significant development following Senate hearing. He rated the SONA 95 out of 100. Meanwhile, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian gave President Marcos a perfect score for his firm stance against POGO, noting that the president's speech made it clear to ban all POGOs and not just the illegal ones. For her part, Senator Grace Poe said she is now full of hope and grateful to have a president that listens, and gave SONA a score of 9.8 out of 10. Meanwhile, Senator Nancy Binay described the SONA as concise, forward-looking, and thoughtfully articulated as she vowed to act decisively on necessary measures to fulfill these objectives for the Philippines and for the Filipinos. Senator Joel Villanueva thanked the President for the POGO ban as he calls for the prohibition of all forms of online gambling in the country. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros meanwhile assures the public that Senate hearings will continue to demand accountability and strengthen policies against industries like POGOs. She also thanked victim survivors, whistleblowers, and government agencies who contributed evidence and testified in the hearings. A national cybersecurity movement lauds the signing of Republic Act 12010, also known as the Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act. This legislation is seen to combat surges in crimes involving online scams. ScamWatch Pilipinas urged implementing agencies led by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to include provisions in the implementing rules and regulations that would allow victims of social engineering scams to appeal to banks, e-wallets, and financial institutions for reimbursement if proven in the investigation. The group emphasized the importance of RA 12010 as many social engineering victims feel helpless when coerced into sharing personal information like one-time passwords or OTPs. A recent study shows that 82% of Filipinos have received unsolicited text messages, emails, phone calls, or which were potentially linked to scams. Over half of the respondents says their friends or relatives had been affected, while only 26% reported incidents resulting in actual or suspected losses to their banks. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. signed the law on July 20, which authorizes the BSP to investigate cases and apply for cybercrime warrants and orders concerning electronic communications used in any violation of the law. It also gives the BSP limited authority to examine and investigate bank accounts, e-wallets, and other financial accounts involved in the prohibited acts. In other news, the Department of Budget and Management has set aside some 9.5 billion pesos in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s announcement that government employees will receive medical allowance next year. The Budget Department says the allocation under the Miscellaneous Personnel Benefits Fund for 2025 will benefit over 1 million state workers. Government workers may avail Health Maintenance Organization benefits or HMO-type benefits, as well as various medical services in case of any health-related emergency. This covers employees under national government agencies, state universities and colleges, and government-owned or controlled corporation of the Executive Department. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman says the government can help ease the medical expenses and healthcare needs of government workers. The Marcos administration has placed healthcare as one of its top priorities. In Monday's State of the Nation address, Marcos said the provision medical allowance is aside from a 4-tranche increase in the salaries of government workers. Moving to the weather now, heavy rains will continue over the northern part of Luzon as Typhoon Carina slightly intensifies on its way northward over the Philippine Sea. In its latest bulletin, Pag-asa said Cagayan Valley and Aurora can expect cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms, which may cause flash floods and landslides. Carina was last seen 320 kilometers east of Basco, Batanes, or 405 kilometers east-northeast of Apari, Cagayan, with maximum sustained winds of 140 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 170 kilometers per hour. It is moving westward at 15 kilometers per hour and forecasted to reach east-northeast of Itbayat, Batanes by 8 p.m. tonight. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 has been raised in Itbayat, Basco, Mahatao, Yugan, and Ivana in Batanes. Signal number 1 is raised in Sabtang, Batanes, as well as Cagayan, Babuyan Islands, eastern portion of Isabela, Polillo Islands, Calaguas Islands, and the northern portion of Apayao, Ilocos Norte, Aurora Province, and Catanduanes. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon or habagat will continue to bring monsoon rains over Ilocos region, Abra, Benguet, Zambales, Bataan, Cavite, Batangas, Occidental Mindoro, and northern Palawan including Calamian and Cuyo Islands. It will also bring occasional rains over Metro Manila, Oriental Mindoro, Romblon, Rizal, Laguna, Pampanga, Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Aklan, Antique, and the rest of the Cordillera region. Bicol region, Negros Island region, Zamboanga Peninsula, Quezon, Northern Samar, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi. The rest of Mimaropa and the rest of Western Visayas can expect cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. The rest of the country will be partly cloudy to cloudy with isolated rains. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website, nib.gov.ph, under PNA News. I am Marita Muaje, and this is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.